Before committing the murder, he deliberately called the sheriff to taunt him, claiming he was about to kill again. In reality, his true target was the sheriff himself. Yet just as he prepared to pull the trigger, he noticed two women approaching the sheriff. One of them raised her hand and gently patted the sheriff on the shoulder. The gesture caught the killer's attention. He guessed the woman might be the sheriff's wife and tentatively remarked, "You have a very pretty wife." The sheriff's reaction confirmed the killer's hunch. Before the sheriff could reach her, the assassin fired a bullet that pierced her body. Chaos erupted instantly. This was the killer's retaliation for the sheriff repeatedly thwarting his plans. But what tormented the sheriff even more was that his wife had intended to tell him she was pregnant. Now it was too late. She died in his arms, a devastating blow. At her funeral, the torment continued. The killer returned, hiding in a car by the roadside where he watched the proceedings and even sketched a portrait of the sheriff, relishing the process. Torturing his enemies was his signature style. After the burial, the sheriff gathered his gear. He could not stand by. He would hunt the murderer himself. Meanwhile, the killer was preparing to hunt his next target. Completely unaware, he had already been marked for elimination by the sheriff. At the station, the sheriff found the next victim's identity hidden in the killer's sketch, prompting investigators to rush to the target's location. The killer's mark was the director of the local city planning bureau. The sheriff swiftly reported the situation to his superiors, requesting armed backup. By then, the killer had already appeared near the target. Armed forces surrounded the courthouse, sealing off the area completely, leading everyone to believe the assassin would give up his mission. But unexpectedly, he appeared in a place no one had anticipated. Producing specialized tools, he accessed the train's control system, inserted a decoder, and began hacking the train's control protocols. Passengers nearby noticed his strange actions and urgently warned him to stop. However, the assassin drew his gun and pulled the trigger without hesitation. Then he pulled a locking bar from his bag, wedged it between the train doors, and activated the hacked program. The train doors opened automatically. At that exact moment, the target, the bureau chief, arrived at the courthouse entrance. The assassin opened his case, took out the rocket launcher inside, secured the weapon with a crossbar to stabilize it, and fired decisively as the train approached the target. The massive napalm explosion engulfed everything around it, consuming the bureau director along with the blast. Who will be the assassin's next target?